So welcome to FrightFest. The J-Horror Virus has just had its UK premiere. How was the experience?
It was pretty exhilarating, actually. Obviously, when you make a film, you're obviously quite concerned about how it's going to play in front of an audience. And I must say the audience reception was just brilliant. They totally got what we were trying to do with it.
And what do you think it is about the UK's fascination with Japanese horror?
I think it was just due to the fact that when it came out, you know, The Ring, back in the pre-millennial era, it was just like nothing else no one had ever seen before, and it was like a sort of window into a sort of alien culture. But I think the films deal with a lot of that sort of feeling of existential dread and loneliness and sort of that sort of really somber atmosphere that is quite unique to Japan.
And do you remember your first J-Horror?
Yes, I do, because I remember when The Ring came out very vividly, hearing rumours of this on the internet and then picking up, I think it was an old VCD from a Hong Kong, the Hong Kong VCD from Chinatown and seeing this thing that, you know, hadn't been released in the UK and just felt like, you know, you were party to something that was really new and exciting.
And what was it about now that you thought was the right time to sort of delve into the history of this genre?
Well, I think we're now looking at about 25 years since J-Horror came out, you know, The Ring came out, and it's terrible to think about it, but, you know, being there at the time, it feels so recent, and then when you actually look back at it, it sort of goes back to this whole era of analogue filmmaking and just, I think the wave has been over long enough for us to be able to put it in some sort of historical sort of context now. So.
And throughout the documentary, you managed to get a lot of like the key heavy hitters. I mean, what was that experience like? You know, not only going to Japan, but getting to interview all of these like huge pioneers of this genre.
I'd actually met a few of them before and interviewed them for various sort of other contexts, but we didn't actually film it ourselves because Japan was in lockdown at the time. So we were just contacting them and arranging for our cameraman Thomas Bezic and Tom Mez was doing a lot of the interviews in Japan. So we were all doing it remotely. So it was sort of interesting because, you know, we had to get all the footage subtitled before we could edit it. So you were never quite sure what was going to come in until it was there.
So you didn't spend your pandemic, you know, with Duolingo out learning Japanese?
Well, I have a rudimentary Japanese anyway, so I mean I was writing and corresponding with all the directors in Japanese. But we did meet them all. We were in Japan in April and we had a rough cut there which we showed to all the filmmakers and gauged their reaction, and it was brilliant. We got a chance to meet Sadako in person, which was like definitely a high point of the production experience.
It must be terrifying though, right? You know, I mean, I'm sure she's lovely, but, you know, it's just so ingrained in your mind as Sadako.
Yeah, I mean, she did in the film, she does all the sort of hand movements and the body movements, shows you exactly how she brought this physical presence to Sadako. When you see her in real life, I mean, she's really sweet. I mean, she's just, you probably wouldn't associate her with the figure you see on screen.
And what's the release strategy? When can people be expecting to see this film?
Well, we're doing the festival run at the moment and waiting to see what happens. We've got a few offers sort of in, and hopefully some sort of VOD sort of release will come about. But at the moment, we're just sort of waiting to see what happens with it.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with the festival circuit. Thank you. Thank you.